JL here with your daily Hoosier Daddy for Wednesday, January the 20th on Octane Infinity TV. Busy night in the NBA tonight with 13 games on the dock, so it was a busy night for fantasy basketball GMs as well. Let's see what happened in our matchups in the Hoosier Daddy JV League. Let's start first with the fruity matchup of 7 apples versus 7 oranges. Jonas's oranges led 5-4 going into Wednesday night. Both teams had full lineups, but Jonas had to bench somebody earlier this afternoon. It appeared it was going to be Ersan Ilyasova, but before the night began, it looks like he benched Channing Frye of the Suns instead. Good move on your part, Jonas. I think Frye only played like 14 minutes in favor of Robin Lopez, who started tonight for Phoenix against his twin brother Brook and the New Jersey Nets. So Jonas's team shot pretty bad from the foul line tonight. Ilyasova, Kamen, and Rashard Lewis collectively shot 9 for 16 from the stripe. The entire team shot below 70%, just barely. I think it's 69%. And man, now you trail that category. So even worse, Mike got an edge on the rebound, 65-53. So he leads in that category as well. So after Wednesday, it's Mike's 7 apples leading 6-3. Taco Del Mar up against Ball Don't Lie. Hey Chris, does your wife know what you named your team? Just thought I'd throw that question out. And Scott, what would your wife think about you renaming your team? How about Catherine Don't Lie? Do you think she'd go for that? Anyway, Chris had 9 eligible players tonight, but looks like Kevin Love gave him no love as he missed his 2nd straight game with strep throat. I could see why Scott chose to bench Beno Udrih instead. He's got a handful of guards, I think 5 who have point guard eligibility. Someone remind me what Scott's assist total is for the year. It's got to be off the hook. Anyway, before I get off track, Chris got a huge night from Monte Ellis. Golden State went into overtime tonight and got big points out of Monte. But let's see what else happened here. Well, it looks like Scott built up on his lead because he was going into Wednesday 5-3, and now Chris, you trail this series 8-1. You got some work to do, man. You have 3 guys playing on Thursday with possibly a full lineup Friday, so let's see some production. There's still 4 days left, so you got to get your team from getting your ass whooped, man. Anyways, on to the marquee matchup, HoopKings versus the Jobbers. Adam started the week red hot, but Renee's team sat back with no one playing on Tuesday, and he still managed to catch up by a category, and now had a 7-2 disadvantage going into Wednesday. Both teams had full lineups. Adam chose to put John Salmons on the bench, which was a good move because Chicago didn't play him anyway, so good watching out on the wire as it was noted that he had the flu. Unfortunately for you, Adam, Renee's point guards, Steve Nash, Darren Williams, had great games. They both had double-doubles, but who else had a double-double? Brendan Haywood. Man, can that guy get in consideration for the All-Star game? I mean, how many good centers are there out east besides D12? Anyways, yeah, consider that guy for like most improved player, comeback of the year, player of the year, or something. And just, you know, he's a good guy. I had him on my ad drops for the last couple of years. I knew that guy was going to be good. So good on you keeping that guy, Renee. And let's see. Well, Adam, your team was also turnover prone tonight. You had 22 turnovers to Renee's 15, and now he leads in that category. So HoopKings could be whittling away at your lead on a day-by-day basis. Jobbers, they only trail you now 6-3. On to my matchup. After a no-show on Tuesday, Edwin's 7 Voyages of Sinbad was losing 7-2 to my newly renamed team 7-11. Hey, by the way, before I get off track, anybody see my boy Brandon Jennings on the cover of March issue of Slam? Enough about that, man. That guy just sucked tonight. What was he against Toronto? I think he shot like 5 for Yeah, here it is, 5 for 21 against Toronto. You may have single-handedly cost me that category. My whole team shot under 40% from the floor. So I expected Edwin to take over in points, but it looks like I lost field goal percentages, and oh, looks like I lost turnovers by 1 as well. So, man, looks like Edwin's ahead after Wednesday. He's up 5 to 4. He could have led an assist too, but he benched Manu Ginobili, who got 8 dimes tonight against the Jazz. Anyways, going into Thursday, it doesn't look like Edwin has anybody playing, while my team has Shaquille O'Neal up against the Lakers. So we'll see if I can whittle away at some of those categories I'm trailing at. It looks like I'm going to continue losing turnovers, but let's see after tomorrow. The final matchup has ringleaders versus Team Swine Flu. Swine Flu, man, wants to beat their opponents seemingly on their strength, so they continue to make a handful of moves in an attempt to continue their attack, leading 7-2 going into Wednesday's action. Ringleaders action did all the talking though, and with a full lineup, had huge games from Chauncey Billups and Chris Bosh. Big scoring nights from those two. You're hurting now, Swine Flu. You fell in threes, you fell in points, you fell in steals. So after Wednesday, it is now ringleader leading your series 5 to 4. Bill has 3 of his Denver Nuggets playing the second half of his back-to-back, or their back-to-back tomorrow against the Clippers. So looks like I see you made some moves, Mike. But before I go on to league leaders, I want to congratulate you, Billy B. It was a good night for you. Way to go. So now we are on the league leaders after 3 nights in week 13. It is Adam leading in field goals at 533. Edwin is a close second at 521. The Jobbers also lead the league in rebounds at 193, blocks at 36, and ties Jonas in the lead for 3-pointers made with 25. Edwin leads in scoring, as I expected, with 408 points, and in steals with 25. Bill's ringleader leads in free throw percentage. They're shooting just above 86%. Mike of 7 Apples leads the league with 98 assists, and Chris, with his team, has the fewest turnovers at 23 for the week. That's tonight's league leaders, brought to you by nobody, because my show is commercial free and uninterrupted. And 10 minutes or less, is that all I get, YouTube? Come on, man. You guys know I'm getting it done. Anyways, here's some more fantasy hoop stuff for you on the waiver wire. As I mentioned, Mike made some more moves for Team Swine Flu. Nothing strategic about how they play fantasy hoops. When they want to beat you, they'll go after your strengths, as I mentioned before, and not exactly just exploit weaknesses. So that being said, let's see what he did. First of all, I should say, man, he's at like 150 moves for the season. They may end up with 200 by the time this night's over. Who knows? But on Wednesday, Mike dropped Andre Miller, Big Ben Wallace, Jermaine O'Neal, and E from the Nets. So TSF now has Rasul Butler, Derek Fisher, Kmart, who had a big night against Golden State, and Big Craig Smith. Other GM, I hope Jonas isn't smelling fear tonight after tonight, man, because it looks like he made some moves when Mike and I noticed that while we were over at Scott's earlier tonight. Jonas dropped Ersan Ilyasova and CDR, picking up the returning Mike Miller for Washington. Mike Miller played against the Blazers on MLK, and 7 Oranges also acquired the Birdman, Chris Anderson. Thursday night, the NBA will only have 2 games. The Bulls visit the Clippers, and the Lakers will be playing Cleveland. That game will be on TNT at 5 o'clock. I'm probably going to hit Buffalo Wild Wings. If anyone wants to join me, man, give me a ring. And guys, that's it from the bomb shelter here at the Octane Infinity TV studios. This has been your daily Hoosier Daddy. I am Mr. JL, the bomb from Vietnam, and boom goes the dynamite.